Hi, welcome to Tuesday Tips at 2. Nice to have you join me. Today I'm going to talk about how to have calmer, more productive, and more effective IEP meetings and 504 meetings also. So last week I was home and I saw a video of a woman named Dina Blizzard. She's a comedian. You may have seen her on YouTube or in person. I saw this video of her on understood.org, and she was in her car crying and so upset because her daughter's IEP meeting had gone very poorly. And it broke my heart. So I decided that I was going to talk today to try to offer you some tips to have IEP meetings or 504s that go well so you're not in your car crying afterwards. The first thing that you should do when you go to an IEP meeting is be prepared. That means know your rights as a parent and know what your child's rights are. There's lots of information online. You can go to IDEA, which is the regulations that the government's put out recently, and it's on their website. You can read a little bit about that, or just Google some information about what your rights are as a parent of someone who has IEP and perhaps a learning disability as well. So that's your first step. Your second step is if there's been some testing or some evaluations, make sure you get copies of those reports in time to read them thoroughly before the meeting. Having them give you the report 24 hours before the meeting isn't okay. You don't have a chance to read what's in them and think about them and maybe talk about it with someone who is more experienced or knowledgeable in a particular area. So make sure that you have a chance to go over the report. If you don't have anyone in your life who can help you explain it, and many people don't, then I would make an appointment with whoever did the testing to have them explain some of the findings to you prior to the meeting. It's really not fair for parents to go into a meeting, get a report about their kid, be expected to skim it over, and then know what they want in terms of what interventions that the school's offering are acceptable. The final thing is that when you go into these meetings, make sure you have a list of items that you want to have covered in the conversation and ideas that you may have about how the school could better serve your child. It's important to have these things written down because in the course of these meetings, people get stressed or distracted or anxious and then tend not to remember the important things that they wanted to discuss. So bring your list and feel proud of it. The second major tip that I'm giving you today is be assertive. No one can advocate for your child like you can. If you're nervous, consider bringing in a friend, a support person. Your partner would be great. If the child's in therapy, you may ask the therapist to attend, or you can hire an educational advocate. All of those things are options for you to consider. I'd also like you to think about bringing in your student to the meeting for part of the time so that the team can hear their perspective about what's working for them in school and what's not working for them. Even children as young as 6 have an idea about what they like and don't like and where they need help. So I encourage you to invite your child into some of the meeting so that they can speak about their experience and the administrators who are making decisions about them can hear what they have to say. The third major thing that you really have to make sure that you do is not agree to anything without time to reflect on their proposal. You want to take home a list of what they're suggesting and think about it. If you can't do that, if they're pressuring you, fight back. There is no reason that you have to sign anything right then in the meeting. You are allowed to take it home and think about it. And what I would encourage you to do, again, is to run it by someone you trust. Maybe it's your child's pediatrician. Maybe it's your best friend who's a teacher at another school district. Or maybe it is your own therapist or coach. Whoever it is, run by their suggestions and what they're considering as interventions with another person if you're not sure that it's the right thing. Even if you are sure that it's the right thing, go home and think about it overnight. One of my dad's favorite sayings is, "I don't know, let me think about it." And when I was a kid, this would drive me crazy. But now as an adult, I actually see the wisdom of his ways. It's always good to think about things for a little while. If you agree with the plan, then you can sign it and return it back to them. If you don't agree with the plan, get help. Ask to reconvene the team and bring someone with you who can help you advocate for your child's needs. The goal here is getting your child the education he or she deserves. Getting those needs met is what's most important. After all, we're talking about education. We're not talking about anything else. So all of the other emotional issues that come with this meeting need to be put aside in service of what is best going to serve your child. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please feel free to post any questions you might have about this topic on my page, or you can email them to me via my website, www.drsharonsaline.com. Next week, I'll be doing a really live broadcast, which means it's going to be a little bit later in the day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where there'll be a chance for you to ask questions directly, and I'll be able to answer them. My colleague Abby is going to help me so that I can both talk and respond simultaneously. Challenging, but I'm really going to try. So send any questions that you might have or ideas for topics. I'm always interested in responding to what your needs are. Have a great day. Thanks.